Hi guys, welcome to this video. We are talking about Nix OS. So Nix OS, I've made one video I think about Nix OS. Let's have that open and then YouTube ArcoLinux. Let's see where we end. Eric Dubois, sure, shut him up, and then we have one particular thing, I think. So playing with NixOS and VirtualBox just to learn a bit. I've been reading a lot and watching videos online a lot, and there are quite a few tutorials out there. So NixOS, go and listen to these guys, right? So one more video. What have I done to achieve a working NixOS Plasma? I've made a choice, right? Like anybody else, we have to make choices. Now, first, let's do an introduction. Nix or NixOS. So Nix is the package manager, NixOS is the operating system, and it's declarative, builds and deployment. That means what I have, you can have exactly the same thing. We declare what packages will install with all the libraries and dependency that it needs, and you do exactly the same thing. So it's reproducible in isolation from each other, ensures that they are reproducible and don't have undeclared dependencies. So if a package works on one machine, it will also work on another. It makes it, well, we have to declare everything. Everything needs to be written down rather than sudo pacman -s. There's another way to install things. And it's more reliable. That's what they say. It allows you to roll back to previous versions. So you get these versions, like maybe you can compare it with ButterFS and Snapper is the name, I think, right? So you get, each time you get a new line in grub or in systemd, so okay, that's a new line, that's a new extra application. That's basically the same, more or less. You can compare it with that, right? If nothing else, it's not exactly the same, but choose from thousands of packages. I have made my selection, so guess what? These packages are named differently. So you have to figure out what's the name. So this one is definitely an interesting website to bookmark, but not this one, but for instance Sublime Text, right? This one, right? Search.nixos.org, but it's easily, you can easily find it, or Google it, or DuckDuckGo it, he'll find it. So you have applications you can install. There are new tools. I've never seen these videos yet, but maybe I should. There is a forum, matrix chat here, and package search here as well, blog and newsletter. So I've been looking at code. That's another thing. Well, first of all, let's go through the motions of downloading. Should have done that first, right? I've done this, which means you install the package manager, so pacman basically, on your ArcoLinux system. And that's not so interesting for beginners. There is macOS, there is Windows, there is dock, and there is more. What is interesting for us, I think, is downloading the ISO image. I've done also the VirtualBox, that worked as well. You have to file import appliance, and then you see already, am I falling in love or not, right? And Amazon EC2, not done that one, but I've done this one. So I am on a 64-bit Intel AMD, not ARM. Also done this one, which I do not recommend, in the sense that this is an ArcoLinux way of installing a black screen, and you have to partition everything with parted and so on. It's interesting, but it's tiresome. I mean, it's not for the beginner. Simple as that. There is somewhere here the manual installation, and you see add network and stuff maybe, and then you start partitioning. So I've done this particular bit, and it works, right? But why not use Calamares? Yes, he's here. Download Plasma Desktop. That's the one I would suggest you do. as beginner in Linux or Nix OS, go grab this one, and then off we go. Super F7. Let's see, and remove this one. Delete all files. That's my clone. Well, clone, you can stay. And then we're going to go for NixOS. We grab the ISO, which is this one, 2311, and we boot up. So if I want to see what's going on, you type E, and then you see that we are going to boot the BZ image, ISO boot Nix Store, and so on. And here we already see something very specific. There is Nix, a folder, Nix Store, and then a very strange thing. And in the end it says Nixos system, Nixos 23112774. So that makes sense, but all the rest is just gibberish. So basically the no mode set, we recognize that, copy to RAM, everything to the memory. And this one I've used on an old laptop, a very old laptop, where all the others did not work, and suddenly it worked with line 4. So test it out, never done this one. On VirtualBox, this would be your good choice, first one. So by default, we have a choice, but by default, I choose to go for Plasma as the default desktop. And on my list to do is install CHADWM on it. And I'll be happy with that, right? If that works, then as a workflow, I will be very, very happy. You can make this bigger if you want to, but it doesn't matter if we're making it bigger, because we need to reboot anyway later on. So you know the drill. This is just Calamares. And here they want us to use these strong passwords, whatever. Et voila. So here you choose. You want to have GNOME, fine. Plasma, fine. XFC, fine. Pentium, okay. Cinnamon, sure. Mate, Enlightenment, LXQT, Budgie, Deeping, or whatever, and then you install everything the way you want. So a minimal system without a graphical user interface will be installed. So basically ArcoLinux D base, right? Black screen, and you do sudo pacman -s SDDM and XFC4 and XFC4 goodies. You've got a desktop. So that's that. I'd like to have Plasma. So choose what you like and then see what I did. So follow first Plasma, follow my code because there will be scripts later on, and then adapt the scripts for any other desktop you like. So here you see strange things happening in the sense that this is still quite normal and the timing is a bit off in the bar here. You can set the timing, how long everything takes. But basically this is the long bit. So it feels like it's halfway, but no, it's not halfway, and it takes quite a while to actually get things done. And maybe we should not pause, so we see in the video how long it takes, so that everything is going to be installed from, well, to copy path. Can we make this bigger? I do want to see more text there. So text, this one, text. Maybe we see more dots here, 3 dots. Is he not opening? So this is what we get. We have gparted, install system, the console is there, and NixOS manuals, maybe something we should have a look at. But first, make this thing bigger. So display Bigger, bigger, bigger. Voila. I'm afraid not. So we see here the Nix. So that's something that's important for us. There is something called a store, Nix Store. So let's see, what is a Nix Store? And that's a command, NixOS install. So everything with Nix, starting with Nix later on, we'll have to investigate and learn about. Ah, there he is. What is the Nix Store? Let's see. Nix stores all packages into a common place called the Nix Store, usually located in Nix Store. Each package is stored in a unique subdirectory in the store, and each package has its own tree structure. For example, a SimGrid package might be stored in, and then we see all this strange jabber thing, and then SimGrid with the version. So that's how it works. There is a Nix tutorial documentation here. There's a Nix reference, Nix Store. So we need to read up. So basically this is your, Nix Store or Nix Store help. So you see what is possible with that particular command. There is more. There are a few commands out there. One of them is interesting is this one, of course. We want to install packages, add packages to the user environment. So Nix environment install. And of course, if you can install it, you can uninstall it later on. All right. So info is online, but of course also local. What's this? Never been to this website. Yeah, watch out that you don't go to the wrong websites, right? So how Nix works, a purely functional package manager, that's what they say, purely functional package manager. I've seen that text everywhere. It treats packages like values in purely functional programming languages as Haskell. They're built by functions that don't have side effects. They never change after they've been built. Nix stores packages in the Nix Store, okay, like this. There are different versions. But you can't easily guarantee that the dependency declaration is complete. If you get the dependency, right, read. You can always roll back. That's already something interesting to look at. Upgrade some package. Roll back if it doesn't work. You can uninstall Firefox. And this is just a command to actually clean things. Is it explained? Deletes all packages that aren't in use by any user profile currently running program. So it's also switches behind it, -d and stuff like that. This is how we install Firefox. How's it coming, my friends? Not even close, right? This is where we were. Now we're here. So it's going to install all these little things. KG add-ons, number 5. KBuzz add-ons, number 5, and so on. He's busy. And we have been recording 40 minutes. So, what is Nix Store? We've asked. What to do after installing NixOS. Let's see. Things to do after installing NixOS. This particular thing is an article from itsFoss and my previous video on YouTube about NixOS is exactly that. I've done this already, right? So how to do things, so Nix channel update, you do this, switch upgrade, yes we agree. Changing host name, well if you set it right in Calamares, then all is good. You have the configuration where you can set this. Flatpak, I don't want Flatpak. That was easy. And this is the garbage collection. Come on, I think something needs to pop up here. The ad appears, but not the image. Oh, there we are. Garbage collection, come on, do your best. A lot of commercials. itsFoss is earning money, becoming millionaires. I don't want any of the ads on our websites, any of them. You support us, you donate, no ads. Hate it. But I can zoom out so I don't see it. This is something that I might want to add: automatic garbage collection and Nix GC, automatic true, dates, weekly, options, delete older than 7 days. Might be a good way of doing things, right? So we have to wait anyway. So this was the bit, right? The bit where everything is going to be downloaded, and that takes a while, really does. And this is faster than my old computer, so I mean, suppose it depends on CPU as well. And then there we are. The video is 17 minutes in, so does not take that long. Eric is just gut feeling. The facts say different. 1920 on 1080, there we go again, right? Yep, sure, keep it, stop it. And this is what you get. So you got yourself a system that has lots of potential. I mean, this is just Plasma, meaning get new global themes. And let's take the first one we have. It has a nice logo from some kind of thing, seems Windows or something. Joking. Anything goes. Where is my Windows? This is the one. Apply. I think I forgot something else here. This one. Apply. And everything is looking already a little bit the way it's supposed to be, I think. Alright, so this is just your standard default Plasma, but not, well, let's have a look at the applications. So there is no, I've not installed anything personally, me, right? So this is what we get out of the box. Lista is there, Ocular, these things are here. Gate is there, okay. Arc is there, Spectacle, and that's it, right? That's it. What I'll do when I'm on a system like this, I'll do a Ctrl-Alt-T. I've got myself a prompt and have to install something. Nix and then install git. Now, if you go and look on the internet, there are guys who are well versed with or choose to use wget rsync curl. I'm the guy who uses Git, right? Because Git clone is something that's safe, it's online, it contains folders, applications, icons, images, whatever I want, scripts, and we're gonna get those. We're gonna get the scripts. So if you've never seen any installation, then this looks strange, right? All of this, the first bit is a reference to a certain version, and this is then actually name. So the Git name here, the Perl, it relies on Perl and all this. Fine. So Git works now. Git clone HTTPS. You put something online on GitLab or GitHub. This is a personal project, so it's gonna go to Eric and then we type Nixos configurations. Now the fun stuff is there are two different files. Maybe we should have gone there. Oh, GTI. GTI is a car. Thinking about cars, Eric. So you've got this one, and in the meantime I have a workflow of sorts. I put my Nixos configurations inside documents. So we have Nixos configuration, but first let's have a look. The heart of the system is actually Nix, sorry, not the heart of the system, but since we're here, this is the store. So the Nix Store, and if you go click in and click, and then you see all the data of that particular package and version. Okay, no, so I wanted to go to etc, and here as well there's an N, a Nix, and there is a Nix OS, and it's that one that's interesting. When you follow the installation via Calamares, everything is set up, right? Ctrl-T, I've got my Azerty. It's all working splendidly. And there are two interesting things. There is the hardware configuration and the actual configuration. So this one differs on my old laptop against my new desktop, against my older desktop, and they're all different. But when you use Calamares, it's all set. Don't bother basically about this. It knows what to do, right? It's all set. So I never looked at this, but this is what is interesting. So the difference between the hardware is divided, is shown in this file here, but the extras like Bluetooth, or you want to have cups, so printing, or you want to have Samba, or. And what do we say here? Here we say, let's import the hardware. So this thing changes on all my machines. Hardware I don't touch. And this thing is imported. Hardware is imported. And on my old machine, there is no system deboot possible because it's an old machine. It doesn't have UEFI. It needs to be grub. And that's the only difference. Saying bootloader system deboot, no, grub enable, true. No reference to it. And then the naming and networking host name, NixOS. I've started calling all my machines by name. Instead of NixOS, it's called Picard, a Riker, a Worf, and Data, right? Star Trek guys. Simple as that. And I've changed those names in those files. And he knows I want BE, not BE-Latin 1, right? BE. And here it says console key map, BE-Latin 1. So everything is set. Printing is enabled, that's cool. Sound enable, true. But it's gonna be pipewire, right? Hardware, pulse audio, enable, false. Surface, pipewire, enable, true. So we're gonna have pipewire and everything works just fine. On YouTube, for example, you just go there and test it. And we have here Firefox NK that's installed as user Eric here, normal user, that's my name, etc, etc. So all of these things are explained and defined in here, that there is a display manager, please auto login, false, and it stops doing the auto login, or yes, please do the auto login as Eric. So there are many things interesting in these files, and then you start exploring. What can I change? So in the documents, I have already spent quite some time. These are, yeah, it's one click and we go in. These three, Worf and Picard and Riker, and there is still a data to make, all right, contains anything but the hardware configuration. So if we take Picard is the one with NVIDIA DKMS on there, so we should better take Riker, and because this one has done the grub settings. Worf is an old laptop, so Riker on a virtual machine is the best bet for me. And what I've done is I've split everything separately. Configuration, core packages, which is Firefox, Vivaldi, Chromium, Code, Sublime Text, Meld, RipGrab, right? A lot of stuff. Desktop specific things, in this case Plasma plus CHADWM. That's the project, that's the future, that's still not possible. Played a little bit with Home Manager, decided not to. Have all the settings separately. If I am on NVIDIA, we use that particular file. And I want to have Samba available on each of my machines so I can share and drop the code on my ISO builder from ArcoLinux. So it's all a thinking, separation and all that, but I rather explain and melt everything on a real machine. So download the ISO, burn Plasma on the USB, put it in, install it, install Git, get my files in, go to Riker, right mouse click, open terminal, copy. That's it. I sit back or go eat something and I come back and everything is installed. So basically what it says here, whatever I have here, copy paste it over to the core folder, and the core folder is etc NixOS. I've overwritten the official configuration Nix with my Nix, and then I say rebuild everything, and that's what he's doing now. He's going to the internet and he's going to grab code, and everything is going to be put inside NixOS Store, or Nix Store better. And there's also drivers for my printer. He's building the driver for my printer, specifically mine. So test out my script, but change of course afterwards. So okay, don't have that printer unless you want to buy Canon TS 6300, then it will work. Vivaldi is being built, I think, so to see. Opt Vivaldi resources. At this point in time I can't really scroll up, so the settings in console matter. Core utils. Done. Now that's one thing, right? That's get everything in, all the applications I want, get it in. And the other thing is actually for all systems. So Plasma is my desktop I want, bash RC, my bash RC, my bash RC personal, X resources, local, config, bin. All the settings will be copied over. Right. Some of them you'll see immediately as an effect, but let's just go for a restart, because we've done now a lot of changes, right? So we're on 2 scripts basically, and this is something, this is what's supposed to be the selling point, and it is, right? It's before I installed all these things and after. So if you are going to say, it is not working, something is not working, a crucial application is not working, you just go back. That's the idea. And then it boots up with all the folders, all the store elements, and you have a working system again. So this is my look I want to have out of the box. So I've changed everything that I didn't like, and I've installed Melt, Sublime Text, and Visual Studio Code. In graphics comes Flameshot, GNU, GoEnView was there already, I think, Inkscapes, Nomax, Internet, Chromium, Discord, Dropbox, Firefox, Telegram, Vivaldi, Multimedia, I want my Spotify and VLC, and Simple Screen Recorder. Lollipop is there now too. Office, Document Viewer, I think, extra. Settings, Pulse Audio, Powerful Control, it's there. The future is CHADWM, right? And other stuff. BTOP is there, Alacrity. There are already applications in here that I'll need on UI, and Yakuaka is there as well on CHADWM. Font Manager, Font Viewer, Pycom is there. So there you go. Choices, right? Rofi for our menu in CHADWM. All right. So this is my approach of doing things, and the code is available on the internet, so I can run it in a virtual machine and do exactly the same things I do. And say, basically, wherever you're using Plasma, it's still gonna be the same thing, right? It's Plasma. If you want to set everything back the way we've just downloaded, it's still there, the Windows 11 thing. I've added some more stuff. Materia is here installed. ArcoLinux ArcDark Tela, ArcDark. Many things have been chosen to be installed. And here is your Windows 11 Twilight that we've done in the beginning. It is still very much, right, just Plasma, wherever I am. And one of the things that I like and prefer is this option, great option. Just woof, everything in one go, 11. So I've made it a little bit bigger for my eyesight. All right. The packages that I now have with those, for instance, Control-T, update. Look at that, Eric typed update, right? Inside something totally different. Control-H. I have now my files, my applications, and here you have Sublime Text. So I'm gradually changing things in here. Here you see already up8 and up8 and all these things. That's our upgrade thing. Okay, update, upgrade, whatever, as long as it works. And other things will go out and will stay and play around with the operating system. Okay, so the configuration, this is what I use as config. This is what I have as bin, so I haven't tested that one. Or skull thing, how is it called? Control-T. It's not skull, I think. Doesn't start with skulls. It's something else. Well, let's take something else. Whatever. Thanks. Does it work? Thanks. Voila. So now we know that the .bin is not part of the path yet. So it is still a work in progress, right? What's on my to-do lists? I want the system, I want NixOS in my network to be visible. So the Samba, they're not visible at this point in time, but they're reachable with the IP number. I want CHADWM. We've got InSync and Dropbox now as well. Seems to be some issue with InSync at the moment, so we'll wait for a few days and see. And that's basically what's still open. Bluetooth is working, sound is working, printers are working. Yeah, and those things are deal breakers, right? If you can't listen to your music, or if you can't, yeah, then there's a problem. Okay, those things work. AscalPuke, here he is. Let's show you. You have that as well, right? This on ArcoLinux, this is all coming from ArcoLinux. All right. So those are dot files, or are configurations, personal stuff. This is interesting, not the Picard one, but actually, sure. Let's compare these two guys. Compress activities. That's not installed, I see. Compare. That's actually interesting, I think, to explain. You go here, you go to configure, you go to configure toolbars, no cancel, you go to again to configure Dolphin, then Dolphin to context menu, yes, download new services, sure, and you type melt. So that needs to be installed. I've used this one for a while, but this one works as well, I think. Test it out. So you get this, and then you can compare, and then you say, oh, look at that. So what's different is that here we have systemd boot enable true, and here it says grub enable true, and it says the grub device is device SDA. I've never typed any of it, right? That is coming from the Calamares installer. And bootloader grub use OSB prober true. So basically, any of the files that we have learned, anything you've learned at ArcoLinux or ArcoLinux or EndeavourOS, doesn't matter, anything Arch. A lot of my knowledge was interesting to have. I mean, without it, I probably wouldn't have figured it out. But everything is declared. We do not go to etc default and grub default. Well, no, we're going to declare things here. So grub enable true. Everything is declared, and sometimes you make mistakes, and then a typo here and typo there. Watch out the semicolons, and also these accolades we say in Dutch, but these guys here, and you forget the semicolon. Well, you'll try to build it, and then of course it won't work. Building things is actually in here. So open with Sublime Text. We say copy paste everything over, and this is the command: sudo Nixos, NixOS of Nixos, NixOS rebuild switch. That's what we do. We've left out here a channel, also possible. So play on. There's a lot of things to learn. It's like a huge amount to learn. Really, there is a huge amount to learn. These are all the Nix things that you have, but each of them have a trillion options in them. So, sure, the journey is not ending. So have a look at all the configurations here, the core packages. Quick look. What do I want? Thus, in the beginning we had WPS Office as well installed, but it takes a lot of time to install it. I use it just once. So all these stuff that I say, this is not, I want this everywhere. Whatever desktop I am on, that's the core packages. By the way, you know my workflow, don't do this, but do this. and then start reading. So this, something, a tip. Install package control. You have to have internet for that. In one of my videos it didn't work, and later on we found out it's because we have no internet. Install package, and then Nix. This is a very good tip. Nix syntax highlighting for Sublime text. I wish I knew that in the beginning, right? Because I've used always bash. That was the best of them all. But as you see, the coloring is a little bit off, but it's better than nothing. But now I've installed Nix, and Nix is the way to go. So everything that has color is used, and all the rest is just not used. This is so much easier to read. And yes, I want Avahi as service. Yes, I want Bluetooth with all kind of things. I want to have a, what's the name again? This high definition linking to my Bluetooth. And the bash personal here is in there. If I want to use it, it's there. And this is because some package had problems or updating, and so okay, this is permitted to be updated. So gradually we learn and we add stuff here. All right, so this is a very, very good tip indeed. And then we just go on. So this is my copy. This is something to remember. Nixos rebuild switch. This is my core. I've learned that it's not needed. I've defined my printer here. I defined it here. Services printing drivers. We can declare that I want this for my printer. So if it's declared here, I don't need to have it here. So I'll need to delete it later on. This is everything with to do with two things: Plasma and CHADWM. Sort lines is something I do from time to time, and then voila, everything is nice. And we see if you have doubles, just to prevent double lines. Some things do not work, like SDM KCM. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. It's not working, and can be, yeah, today, right? So here we have NVIDIA drivers. How do I figure it all out? Well, there's a wiki as well. Nixos wiki, NVIDIA. Try that. Why would I go translating Dutch? Yeah, really. There he goes, right? You probably hear that in my too. Why do they put it on? Anyway, here is the information. Installing NVIDIA driver from Nixos. What do I need? There is also called Legacy 340. So that's still in the pipeline, and the 390, I can test that one out, but still no pleasure there, because it's always difficult. NVIDIA Optimus Prime. I have this old laptop with that particular hardware, but look at what I have to do, right? But it works without NVIDIA driver, so just abandon the idea. Choose your battles, right? So 3 options for me to get this work on this Prime thing. And there's more, right? This is the wiki, I suppose. Let's see if that works. Cups. Here's everything for about printing. So you'll find my lines in my configurations. And slowly, but gradually, but use my code, and it will be not slowly, it will be very fast. You get somewhere. We have a system that hangs now. I don't know what happened. Full screen, small screen. Ah, there we are. Yeah, it's alive again. So I just wanted to move here. Voilà. So services, there are quite a few services enabled. Oh yeah, I've probably written somewhere else, right? Printing enabled. Yep, it's, oh yeah, NVIDIA, right? Look where I am. And then here's the Samba thing. And this is how I went about changing or writing my configuration. Compare between the folders, compare between the elements, and there's also super escape, I think. Super escape to kill things. Nothing happening. So just at the end of the video, everything hangs a little bit now. So try it out on real metal, guys, would be my advice anyway. But if you want to see what's going on, why not try NixOS in a VirtualBox, VMware, QEMU. Haven't tried any of it since I'm always on VirtualBox. So why wouldn't it work? Question of setting things. I can't seem to kill it. Stays alive. Okay, SysGuard is indeed something I'd like to have on NixOS, and it does not seem to be available on it. But as you see, I'm kind of logged out. There's maybe an option here, and see if I can do log back in. Another thing is I would like to have another wallpaper if possible, and here later on, and the choice between CHA, DWM, Plasma, no, I mean whale, no. Alright, she's gone. Jesus. So let's end the video with a nice logo. There we are. Some reference, right, for the future. What Plasma this was, what choices I've made. And 403 Nix user packages I see, 1487 Nix system things, and it's called Tape here, and from 23/11, so November. So guys, there you go. You have something to think about. Would this be interesting? What can I learn? Where are the information? Where is it coming from? Can we roll it out on our computer park, so to speak? Will it work everywhere? And such more. Enjoy the learning.